So even though we live on 6 acres here on the river, I still only have a small space for my chickens and my garden currently. And we do have plans to expand eventually, but right now the priority is the renovation projects on our little house. So in the meantime, I've had to figure out how to maximize the space that I have for my garden and my chickens. And one of the ways that I have done that is by combining the chicken area and the garden area so that the chickens can actually be in my garden when I am not growing any vegetables. But here you can see that I am removing some old plastic from the chicken coop. This little chicken coop was a kit that we bought, and we really wanted to build our own chicken coop so we could make sure it was really good quality, but I really wanted to get started on my chickens, so we bought this little coop. It's absolutely adorable, but it's definitely not going to last forever. And so we just put this plastic up before last winter just for some extra protection for the chicken coop with the snow, and then also to kind of keep more of a draft out for the chickens. But it was definitely getting old and cracking, so we're going to put up some fresh plastic here before it snows again. There you can see there was some sort of little beehive forming on the chicken coop. But here is my garden area, and the gate is really simple. I just have bungee cords to keep it closed. But the chickens can go into this area when I don't have a garden. And I did not have a garden this past year, so they have had their free reign of the garden area. But there's also a little run. So the chicken coop opens up into a little run at one end of the garden, and then there's a gate that can close the run off from the garden area. So when I do have vegetables growing, I can close it off and the chickens cannot get into the garden. And I have 8 chickens, and so they do get to go out in the yard and free range almost daily. If I was not able to let them out to free range, I would only have probably 4 chickens because the run space is not very big, and I would not want to keep 8 chickens in that space confined without being able to go free range. But there you can see there was a grader going by on the road behind me. They were grading the road, getting it ready for fall and winter. But anyway, there was a little door that goes into the chicken run, and the chicken run goes into the garden. So here's the garden area, and I did not have a vegetable garden. I didn't grow anything this last year just because I had a baby. So the chickens had their free reign of the garden area all spring and summer long. But here is the little gate that closes off the chicken run to the garden, and I will use bungee cords, simple bungee cords, to keep that closed. And here's the chicken run. You might notice there are a ton of feathers everywhere because some of my chickens are molting. They tend to do that in the fall. And the first morning I went out, I saw all the feathers, and at first I thought a chicken had died. But no, it's just them molting. And yeah, here's the little door that closes the chicken coop if I need to use it for any reason. But anyway, it's just a really simple little setup, and it definitely maximizes the space. And I love it that the chickens can go into the garden area when I'm not growing anything. And if on the days that we're going to be gone or something and they can't come out in free range, then at least they have that extra space. So anyway, here I am cleaning out the chicken coop, and this little chicken coop, even though it's not the best quality, like I said, it's not going to last forever. It does have a really nice little drawer floor that I can pull out to easily clean the chicken coop. And then here I'm just scraping out the little nesting area. And yeah, so what I do with the bedding, I use just some wood shavings for in the little chicken hutch area, I guess you would call it. And what I do with the used ones when I'm cleaning out the coop is I will go and put them into the garden area. But here I'm just putting down the fresh shavings, and I like to pile them pretty high in the chicken coop just so that there's, because they do kind of compact down after a little while. And so I give them a lot of bedding so that they can just scratch it around and they'll get it how they want it. They'll move it around to how they would prefer it. And so, yeah, I just pile that high. I pile it high in the little nesting area too, and they'll make their little nests for laying their eggs. And yeah, I take that, all the old stuff, and I dump it out into the garden, and the chickens will scratch it around and it'll just kind of decompose into the soil. And this actually makes for really nice garden soil. So next spring, I should have some really good soil in my garden. So you really don't have to have a ton of space in order to have chickens in a garden. You can get creative and maximize the space that you do have, and this is just the way that I have done that for my gardens and my chickens. So I really hope that you enjoyed this little video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video and share with someone else you think would enjoy it. Head on over to my blog, homespunannie.com, and check it out. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.